meditation. That's good. Pujya Swamiji always says, meditation is the best medication for all agitations. So, whatever we need. I have heard so much about my true self, so much theory. Can we actually have an experience of it? Well, if it's our true self, what is it that's keeping us from experiencing it? I mean, I'm able to experience my arm. I'm able to experience my forehead, my nose. I'm even able to feel my heart. I'm able to experience emotions. Why are we not able to experience the self? Because of all of that that's blocking it from us. If when you come home from work, you're stressed, you're tired, and you decide to take a hot bath to let go of the stress, let go of the fatigue, what's the first thing you have to do in order to really benefit from a hot bath? Take your clothes off. Exactly. How relaxing will a bath be if you step into it in your full suit and tie and shoes and hat? Not relaxing at all. And so, in order to experience the true self, what we have to do is let go of that which is not self. And that's where in the meditation we practice. Just letting go, we breathe it out. You can do it through a path of meditation called Niti Niti. Not this, I'm not my shawl. I'm not my sari. I'm not the skin. I'm not the blood. I'm not the bones. I'm not the organ. And we go piece by piece, deeper and deeper, until very much like an onion, we've peeled off layer after layer. And there's nothing left. Or there's everything left. The Buddhists speak about nothingness, the Hindus speak about everythingness. But they're both talking about the same phenomena. If I have a jar of air, imagine that I've got a closed jar of air, and now my jar breaks. The glass breaks. What do I have? What do I have? I'm sorry?
Broken glass and air.
Broken glass and air. But is the air? Everything, exactly. We could think I've got nothing. I had this glass, now the glass is broken, there's nothing in my glass anymore. And yet, through the breaking of the glass, now I've got everything. So in order to experience it, we have to let the glass break. The difficulty with that is we hold on to it. We hold on to our identities. We don't want to let the glass break. The glass is what we identify as. This is who I am. This is what I need. This is what I've been through. We spoke about this last night. In order to have that experience, we have to let the glass break. And what that takes is faith. It takes faith to allow the borders and the boundaries of who we think we are to dissolve. so that we actually have the ability to experience the full grace. As it's now after 10, I'll ask Pujya Swamiji if he doesn't mind to share with us his experience of, in his life, having been given that touch by the Guru of how to experience the true self.
In theory and in practical, both. Beautifully, Sadhviji has explained one by one. And in the Upanishad also, it is explained, and this theory has called me Neti, 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 Neti. Naiti, 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 not this, not this, not this. What left? What is left is the self. And through the self, you experience everything. By which you experience everything is the self. By which you see everything is the self. And through meditation, when all these layers, one by one, have taken away, what left is self. Now, how to have the experience of it? Experience of this self is not mere my effort. It's the grace. You can go one by one with your analytical mind, with your intellect, with your bookish knowledge, whatever you have achieved. But this is beyond our senses, beyond our mind, beyond our intellect, and beyond our knowledge. That's why you have to have one more thing, which I have realized in my life also when I was very young and all along of my life. The grace. In the Upanishad, it is beautifully said, Durlabham traye ve metat deva anugraha hetukam manushyattvam mumukshutvam mahapurusha sanshaya. Three things are indeed very difficult to achieve, to attain. Number one is human body, manushyattvam. We should not take it for granted. This is given to us. This is a great gift. And they say it, the human is a cradle, the jewel of this universe. It's the cradle of this universe. Human life is given to us. All lives are wonderful, beautiful. We must respect all living beings, but we must all love them. But you can sit here and learn about yourself. You can experience yourself. This privilege, the animal world and those people don't have it. But amazing thing is, they don't have the privilege of it. But what I have seen in the jungle, even after having everything, all the degrees, all the classes, it's so difficult to overcome our jealousies, our anger, our greed, our grudges, our judgmental mind. Keep judging about others. I have never never seen the flowers being judgmental about others. Juhi is now in coma. That why I am not Rose. And Rose is not fated to see the beauty of Jasmine. They all are living in love. They all are living in harmony. They are not even thinking about self-realization. But they are in harmony. They are in love. They are one with the nature. How we can achieve this harmony and being one with the nature, where all this is taken care of automatically. This can happen. That's why we want to know the self. Those people without knowing the self, they are very happy. A donkey is a donkey. Very happy donkey. Never worries. I wish I can go to Stanford. I can go to Columbia. I can go to Oxford. I have to prove I am a donkey. I must need some degree, some certificate to prove I am a certified donkey. Never have seen. I don't think so you have seen in any of your school. Or any school is there. Donkey school, monkey school, not in the jungle even. No school were there. A monkey is a monkey. Never worries about donkey even. Oh my God, if I go to college, I can become donkey. Never. This disease, we have it. This problem, we have it. Even after having everything, all the yoga, all the meditation, all the classes, all the advanced courses, I don't know what happens to us. In 1 minute, we go backward. 1 second, our mind is so amazing. Just one little thing, one little story, true or not true, can bring us off the path. No matter how long is our yoga mat, doesn't matter. No matter how much perfection we have achieved in our yoga, 1 second, and we are off the yoga. Why this happens? That's why they say knowing the self is very important. A rishi in the jungle sends his son. He could have trained him, but he said, he is with me all the time. He must be seeing what is special in my father. He eats, I eat. He sleeps, I sleep. He enjoys pleasures, I enjoy pleasure. Everything is same. He doesn't have any horn on his head that I can take him very special. He is my father, I am his son. That feeling can stay in his mind. The father understood. I think to achieve knowledge, to acquire knowledge of the self, I should send him to another rishi. Otherwise, this blockage, this is a very difficult thing, to take this blockage away. What is special in him? We were just eating on the same table. Yeah. He was asking for even pickles. Oh, he loves pickles. How he can become a swami? How he can become a rishi? These small things. And brings us back. I love bread. He loves bread. I love this, he loved this. How he can be there? Very normal, everything is so normal. The father was very wise. He said, son, time is to go to learn. Okay, Dad. The Rishi sends to another Rishi in a jungle, in a Gurukul, and the son goes there. After a few years, he comes back. And father asks him, done? He said, done. Not done. Beyond done. He said, what is beyond done? He said, I know everything. He said, you know everything? He said, yeah, master was so great. Rishi was so wonderful. And especially because I am your son, he gave me special attention in it. And everything, everyone was behind. I was the number one. I became the number one. And I'm there. I know everything. He said, you know everything? He said, yes. Then he started asking the question. And he started giving the answer. The same question came, self. He said, did you learn about the self? He said, there was no need to learn about the self. I was busy learning so many things. And I learned, I mastered, I'm perfected, I learned everything. He said, my son, if you have learned everything and not learned about the self, it's all in vain. You will be keep handling all these small issues, small things. Go back. He said, go back. I have the degree. He said, you are done. He said, yes, go back and learn about yourself. When you learn about yourself, degrees or no degrees, yoga on the mat or yoga off the mat, class or no class, then you are sitting in the caves or in California, then you are sitting in the mountains or in Malibu or countryside, you yourself become so much enlightened in light that whatever you see, wherever you go, you don't see all these nitty-gritty things. You are not stuck with those small issues. Until and unless you are beyond these small issues, you don't know the self. Self, the moment you know the self, then you are super. Anything in life will not bother you. Look at Jesus. He is being crucified. For 1 minute, one maybe flash of a second came to his mind. What are they doing to me? God immediately said, another reflection, and forgive them. He was not judgmental anymore. Immediately after that was done. Lord Ram is being sent to the, it's a long story, I'll not go to that, is being sent to the jungle. He's being coronated. He was the son of a king. And there was a auspicious moment when he was being crowned as a king. And suddenly, story is long, I'll not go to. In the same moment, when he's being crowned as a king, one incident takes place in the family, and the father called him. He said, son, go to the exile in the jungle for 14 years. Same smile. Prasannatam ya nakata abhishekatam. Same smile, same prasannata on his face. And he said, Pita deen moe kanan raju. My father was going to give me the kingdom, but I think he's so wise, he's so wonderful. Rather than complaining and grumbling, he said, he has given me the kingdom of the jungle. I'll go there, I'll meet the trees, I'll meet the animals, I'll meet all those. And same prasannata, this stage you want through the yoga. This stage you want, it is difficult, but not difficult. Difficult is because we are holding our degrees. I am this. I am such and such. The moment we go beyond these things, believe me, things will happen in life, problems will come in life, but you will be able to see those problems, face those problems in such a way which cannot create pain in your heart. For a moment, maybe they will shake you also, but inside you will be unshaken. That comes through this meditation. That comes through the realizing the self. The self is unshaken. Self is not shaken. That's it. When self is unshaken, then you can see, yes, there is a self-realization. And that I could see in those people sitting in the mountains is not only, it can only happen in the mountains. I have met so many people on this earth, in several cities, in many places. They are so grounded, so anchored. That grounding and anchored must be the goal. And that can come through meditation, that can come through realizing the self. And for that, one is your own effort, and another is the grace. Pray for the grace, and grace is there, and you are touched, and you are changed. Thank you.
How can we maintain our connection to the divine when we go back to our daily lives that involve long days in office buildings and all sorts of distractions that modern life presents? The divine to which we connect is within. Also outside. There was a beautiful mantra that's in your booklet as well, and Pujya Swamiji spoke about it last night. The mantra of fullness, pouring, wholeness, completeness. That, the divine, the supreme, is whole and complete and perfect. This, which has come from that, whole and complete and perfect. So what we've got is a situation where we've been created not just by the Creator, but of the Creator. The Upanishads remind us that everything in the world is pervaded by the divine. Isha vasyamidam sarvam yad kincha jagatyam jagat. Everything in the universe is pervaded by the divine. And what that means is twofold. So am I, and so are all of those with whom I live and interact. The divine with whom, to which we are connecting is not sitting here in Dorset. It's not the Gaunt's house divine compared to the London divine, compared to the Paris divine. That divine is all pervasive, and the divine is within ourselves, which means that what we're connecting to is actually within us, and is therefore going back with us, came with us. We're not sitting here manufacturing the divine within us. It's not like getting a suntan where actually the skin changes color with every hour that you spend lying on the beach. All we're doing is connecting to that which came here with us. But as we're peeling back the layers of not self, as we're opening the curtains, the other beautiful metaphor that Pujya Swamiji speaks about so frequently is we're sitting in a dark room curtains are drawn, praying for the sun, chanting mantras of the sun, doing sun salutations and all of that. Whereas all we have to do is open the curtains. The sun is there. Prayers for the sun, sun salutations are not creating the sun. The sun is there. What our practice needs to be is just opening the curtains. And so in order to maintain that connection, what we have to do is maintain two practices. One, an internal practice, one, an external practice. The internal practice is to continue to repeal and repeal the layers of not-self. Otherwise, we go back and it's, I'm the boss, I'm the president, I'm the CEO, or I'm the measly mail clerk, I'm the secretary, I'm this, I'm the teacher, I'm the student. We go back into our roles. I'm the wife, I'm the husband, I'm the daughter-in-law, the mother-in-law, the rich one, the poor one, the successful one, the not successful one, the alcoholic one, the drug-addicted one, the anorexic one, the depressed one. Whatever identity we're carrying in our lives, we go back into that. And so the internal practice is, how can I, in this time here, connect with the truth of who I am, as Pujya Swamiji just spoke so beautifully, beyond all those layers. Those are just clothes. They're just different things we put on. So I had my beautiful Hugo up here with me last night, and I'm sure that in his life he wears so many different clothes. He's got maybe a uniform for school. It's a student Hugo. And maybe he plays soccer, or maybe he calls it football. And he's got the football uniform. Then maybe he goes swimming, and he's got his swimming uniform, and then it's time to go to bed, and he puts on his pajama uniform. But it's Hugo the whole time. It's not change of person. And similarly for us, at different times in our lives, we wear different costumes. The point of the spiritual path is not that I let go of all of my duties. It's not that I say, oh, forget it. I'm not going to be the student. I'm not going to be the boss. I'm not going to be the mother. I'm not going to be the daughter. We put on all of the uniforms. We play all of the roles. But we remind ourselves over and over and over again until it becomes our truth that we are not those roles. If you think about being on stage in a play, let's say you're an actor, you get chosen to play the role of the villain. And it's a great role, and so you're happy you get to play this role. But you know you're not the villain. And when you go home at night, you don't carry home your villainness with you and expect your family to somehow adapt to living with a villain. If you showed back up at home still as the villain, your family members would say, go take off your costume, wash off the makeup. We understand, I'm the actor playing the role. And so the goal here is, can I connect with the one who is donning all of these different roles, who's donning all of these different costumes, who's zipping one up and zipping another off. Whether it's my work role, whether it's my family role, whether it's my social role, whether it's a friend role. I do them all to the best, the very best, and the most sincere that I can. This is the bottom line teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. We play our roles with full sincerity, full commitment. We step up to the plate, as I was talking last night. But we know I'm not the role. I'm the one who's wearing this costume temporarily. And so that's how we hold on to that connection internally, is just to keep reminding ourselves. I'm not who I think I am in this moment. And to just go back, and it just takes a moment. Just close your eyes. You can even do it with the eyes open. But just reconnect wherever you are. And the breath is a great tool. The breath is your best friend in reconnecting with the self and regrounding with the self. And then, in terms of the outer part, many of us tend to identify the divine, our spiritual path, as being just in the temple, in the synagogue, in the church, in the mosque, or in the shrine in our home. This is my spiritual time. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. But really the goal is, how can I see that divine in everyone? Not easy. Not something that's easily perfectible. But simply giving ourselves the intention that I am going to try to see the same divine with whom I'm connecting in all. Then suddenly our workplaces, our families, our errands become an experience of spirituality. Otherwise we find ourselves in the situation that I joke about so frequently, where we're on the way to our yoga class, or on the way to our meditation, or on the way to temple, or to church, or to synagogue, or to kirtan. And we're late. And of course, we're not late due to our own fault. We're late because somebody made us late. A spouse, a child, a clerk at the grocery store. And now we're stuck in traffic. And what do? We start to yell, internally or externally, at the one who's made us late. We start to get very frustrated at the drivers of all of these other cars. If they could just get out of the way, I could get to my meditation class. If those pedestrians, those darn pedestrians, could just speed up. That lady in the wheelchair could just have not gone into the crosswalk at that moment. Well, which teaching of the divine says I don't live in that lady in the wheelchair? I don't live in the drivers of the car. I don't live in your loved one who made you late, or the distracted clerk at the grocery store. So if we can actually make all of that part of our spiritual practice, then it helps us hold on to the divine connection wherever we go. For those of us new to this association, could His Holiness please explain the different parts of his name and title? Pujya Swamiji Sadhviji Saraswati.
Name is Chidananda. Rest is given by others. Chidananda is the name was given by the master. And the Pujya means the respected one, revered one is the Pujya. Swami, in our tradition, when you leave your family, take sannyas, you are giving this name Swami. But to me, the Swami is the Swami of his own mind or her mind. Swami is not a mere title. You all can become Swami. Taking sannyas is a wonderful thing, but I am not here to tell you, okay, after this 2 days retreat, let us go to Rishikesh, leave everything and become Swami. Being here, you can become Swami of your own. Swami of your mind, Swami of your senses, Swami of your own desires. Swami means who has his own control, own remote in his own hand. It's not that somebody else has the remote and because of that remote you have to dance according to the tune of others. You have the remote in your hand. You turn it off, becomes off. You turn it on, becomes on. Mostly we are on and off based on what people say, what people talk about us, what people do about us, and we are on and off. Swami is who never goes on and off. And that's what the state is. Swami, not only a title. Chidananda means Chid, means Gyan. Ananda means bliss, who is always in bliss, and his bliss is in true knowledge. The true knowledge of the self we were talking about. Chidananda means being the self, the true self. Being the bliss, the true bliss. And being the true knowledge means living that knowledge. Saraswati, in the sannyas tradition, by the Shankaracharya tradition, there are many acharyas, many spiritual masters in our Indian culture. Vallabhacharya, Ramanujacharya, Ramanandacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbarkacharya, time to time, when humanity needed their direction, all these acharyas came on this earth and showed the path in their own way. But showing the path that he is one, the truth is one, but paths are many. Ultimately, all these paths lead to the one. With their own philosophy, with their own vision and wisdom, they gave different paths. But the bottom line was, he is one, we are one. Paths are maybe many, but how we can, walking on those paths can reach the freeway to make us free. To reach the highway to keeps us high, keeps us there. But because the traditions were there, according to their traditions, they gave the titles. Saraswati also is one of the titles given to us. In sannyas tradition, there are 10 titles. Saraswati is the one, then others follow. And in that way, this name was given when I was very little, left the family. I was brought to the jungle. When I came back from the jungle to the ashram, then initiation was given to me. And this name, Swami Chidananda Saraswati, was given. Then people, because of their devotion, because of their love, they just add Pujya or Pujaniya, means the revered one. But the more important thing is that how. It's not the how people take you, how you take yourself. End of the day, you matter. How you take yourself, how you can become the Swami of your mind and senses. How you can feel that you are not the slave of these senses and mind. That end of the day, you have to become a swami. Because being the swami and being the slave, same starts with S, but it's a big difference. Big difference. One becomes the cause of pain and suffering, and other becomes the cause of joy and liberation. When you become a slave, nothing but misery, sorrow, sadness, all that follows automatically. So when they give you this title, they make you realize you are not the slave. Come on, get up. Not only that, you will be amazed, they do the final rites of this body also. Not the mind only. They said, you are no more. You are done. They do the ceremony where the body is also burned. You are seeing your body being burnt. And the last cremations rite also they do to you. Then say, Om Bhumayaha Maya Bhuva Om Bhuvamayaha Om Swastirmayaha Sanyastu Mayaha. And all these mantras go on, and they make you that you are the true self. You are not the body. You are not the mind, you are not the senses, go beyond. And this is the realization. Through this title and through this initiation and through the practice of that, what is being told to you, that you can achieve that stage. And life is a journey to achieve that stage. You are on the path. Every day you can keep reaching that goal. It's not that I am sitting here or you are sitting there. You are less than me. You are also the same self, the divine one. You have the same spark. You have the same light. Only thing is, we have to realize that. We have to awaken that. That's it. God bless you.